Jinwoo wiped the sweat from his forehead as he worked inside the narrow maintenance shaft. The bioscanner cooling system had been acting strange for 3 days now, and the alien engineers on the station couldn't figure out what was wrong. That's why they called him. Humans were new to the Galactic Union, but they were already getting a reputation for fixing things that others couldn't. The medical station Epsilon 7 floated in orbit around a busy trading hub. It was massive, with gleaming white walls and strange blue lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. Jinwoo had only been working here for 2 weeks, but he already loved it. Every day he saw dozens of different alien species, each one stranger than the last. He reached deeper into the cooling system, his fingers searching for the faulty connection. The pipes around him hummed with cold liquid, keeping the sensitive medical equipment from overheating. His supervisor, a floating jellyfish-like creature named Bowl, had warned him to be careful. These pipes carried coolant that could burn through most materials. Jinwoo found the problem. A connector had come loose, and coolant was dripping slowly into the secondary chamber. He smiled. Easy fix. He reached for his tools and began tightening the connection. That's when everything went wrong. The pipe above him suddenly cracked. Jinwoo heard a sharp hissing sound and looked up just in time to see a spray of bright blue liquid shooting toward his face. He threw his arm up to protect his eyes. The coolant hit his forearm and immediately began to burn. The pain was intense. Jinwoo screamed and pulled his arm back, hitting his head on the low ceiling of the shaft. The coolant continued to spray, so he scrambled backward, trying to get away from it. His arm felt like it was on fire. He fell out of the maintenance shaft and onto the clean floor of the medical wing. Alien doctors and nurses rushed toward him. Jinwoo clutched his arm, trying not to look at the damage. He could smell burning flesh. Emergency. Human injured. Someone shouted in the strange, musical language of the station. Jinwoo's translator implant worked quickly, turning the alien words into something he could understand. A figure appeared above him. It was tall and crystalline, with 6 thin arms that moved like water. The creature's body was transparent, with lights flickering inside like distant stars. This was Dr. Vrixtal, the head physician of the station. "Bring him to Bay 3 immediately," Dr. Vrixtal said, the voice chiming like glass bells. "Prepare the nanite treatments and cellular scaffolding. This injury is severe." 2 nurses, their bodies covered in soft purple fur, lifted Jinwoo onto a floating stretcher. They moved him quickly through the corridors. Other aliens stopped and stared as they passed. Humans were still rare enough to draw attention, especially injured ones. In the medical bay, they placed Jinwoo on a table that adjusted itself to his body shape. Dr. Vrixtal's 6 arms moved over him, each one holding a different scanning device. Blue light washed over Jinwoo's injured arm. "The chemical has penetrated 3 layers of skin," Dr. Vrixtal said to the nurses. "Prepare for immediate intervention. We need to stop the damage before it reaches the bone." But then the doctor paused. All 6 arms stopped moving. Dr. Vrixtal leaned closer to the scanning screens, the crystalline face showing confusion. "This is unexpected," the doctor whispered. Jinwoo gritted his teeth against the pain. "What's wrong?" "Nothing is wrong," Dr. Vrixtal said slowly. "But something is happening that should not be possible. Your body is already responding to the injury. Look." The doctor turned one of the screens toward Jinwoo. Even through his pain, Jinwoo could see what the doctor meant. The scan showed his arm in perfect detail, down to the individual cells. Around the burn, his body was already working. Blood cells were rushing to the area. The damaged tissue was being contained. New cells were beginning to form at the edges of the wound. "Your body is performing emergency repair on its own, Doctor," Vrixtal said, all 6 arms now focused on the scans. "Without any medical intervention, without nanites or cellular support." "How is this possible?" One of the nurses, a small beetle-like creature, chirped something in alarm. "Doctor, the human's inflammation response is accelerating. Should we suppress it?" "No," Dr. Vrixtal said firmly. "I want to observe this. Monitor all vital signs, but do not interfere unless absolutely necessary." Jinwoo's arm still hurt badly, but he noticed the burning sensation was already starting to fade. The sharp, intense pain was becoming a dull throb. He watched the scans in fascination. His body was doing exactly what it was designed to do, fighting the injury with everything it had. Dr. Vrixtal pulled up another screen, this one showing data from the station's medical database. The doctor scrolled through information about dozens of species. In every known species, an injury like this requires immediate medical intervention. The Kylothians need nanite injections. The Valasians require cellular scaffolding. The Centauri must be placed in regeneration tanks. But you are just healing. Is that bad? Jinwoo asked. Bad? No. Impossible? Yes, doctor. Vrixtal's crystalline body flashed with colors that Jinwoo's translator couldn't interpret. What augmentations do you have? What technology is inside your body, making this happen? Jinwoo almost laughed. But the pain stopped him. Technology? Doctor, I don't have any augmentations. I'm completely natural. This is just what human bodies do. The medical bay fell silent. Every alien in the room stared at Jinwoo. Doctor. Vrixtal's 6 arms trembled slightly. You are saying, the doctor spoke carefully, that this is your natural biology? That all humans can do this? Well, yeah, Jinwoo said. I mean, it'll take a few weeks to fully heal, but my body knows what to do. It's done this before. I broke my leg when I was a kid, and it healed back stronger than before. Dr. Vrixtal was quiet for a long moment. Then the doctor began moving again. All 6 arms working at once, pulling up more scans, more data, more information. Nurse Pelmora, contact the Galactic Medical Council. Tell them we have discovered something extraordinary. The purple-furred nurse nodded and hurried away. Jinwoo watched as Dr. Vrixtal studied the scans with growing excitement. The doctor's crystalline body was now glowing brightly, pulsing with what Jinwoo guessed was the alien equivalent of enthusiasm. Human Jinwoo, Doctor, Vrixtal said. Would you permit me to conduct a full medical examination? I need to understand how your body works. This could change everything we know about biology. Jinwoo looked at his arm. The burn was still there, still painful, but it was already starting to look better. The edges of the wound were pink with new skin growth. In a few days, it would probably be mostly healed. In a few weeks, there might not even be a scar. He looked up at the excited alien doctor and smiled. Sure, Doc. Let's see what makes humans tick. 3 days had passed since the accident. Jinwoo's arm was healing faster than Dr. Vrixtal had thought possible. The burn that should have taken months to heal with advanced alien medicine was already closing up on its own. The doctor had watched the entire process with fascination, taking scans every few hours. Now Jinwoo stood in the research wing of the medical station, wearing a thin examination gown. The room was circular, with scanning equipment hanging from the ceiling like mechanical flowers. Doctor. Vrixtal moved around him slowly, all 6 crystalline arms holding different devices. This will not hurt, the doctor assured him. The scanners will map your entire body, inside and out. Every organ, every system, every cell. I need to understand how you work. Jinwoo nodded. Go ahead, Doc. I'm curious too. The machines hummed to life. Beams of soft light passed through Jinwoo's body, creating a 3-dimensional image on the screens around the room. Doctor. Vrixtal studied each image carefully, occasionally making small sounds that Jinwoo's translator interpreted as surprise or confusion. A nurse named Pelmora worked at one of the control stations. Her purple fur rippled as she adjusted the scanning parameters. Doctor, she said quietly, the human's immune system is showing unusual activity. Unusual how? Dr. Vrixtal asked. It appears to be learning, Pelmora said, her voice uncertain. The immune cells are adapting their response patterns based on previous encounters with foreign substances. Dr. Vrixtal moved closer to that particular screen. The image showed Jinwoo's blood, magnified thousands of times, White blood cells moved through the plasma like tiny warriors, each one carrying information about every threat the body had ever faced. "This is not possible, Doctor," Vrixtal whispered. "Most species have static immune responses. They can only fight infections they have evolved to fight. But your immune system, it learns. It adapts. It remembers." A beetle-like doctor named Crixton entered the room, his hard shell clicking against the floor. He was a scribe physician, known throughout the galaxy for his medical knowledge. "I heard you were examining a human," he said in his buzzing voice. "I had to see this for myself. Look at this." Dr. Vrixtal gestured to the screens. "The human immune system is unlike anything in our records. It's completely adaptive." CP Crixton studied the images, his antennae twitching. "Fascinating. In my species, we must be genetically modified to resist new diseases. But humans, they do it naturally?" "Apparently," Dr. Vrixtal said. "And that is not even the most interesting discovery." The doctor moved to a different screen, one showing Jinwoo's internal organs. "Doctor," Vrixtal pointed to a large, dark shape near the center of the body. "This organ here. What is it called?" "That's my liver," Jinwoo said. "It filters toxins from my blood and helps with digestion." "Doctor," Vrixtal's crystalline body pulsed with light. "Yes, I read about this organ in the human medical files Earth provided, but those files did not mention this." The doctor zoomed in on the image. "There is clear scarring here, evidence of severe trauma, yet the organ is whole, complete, functioning at full capacity." Jinwoo looked at the screen more closely. He could see what the doctor meant. Part of his liver showed signs of old damage, but the organ was the right size and shape. "Oh yeah, I got hurt pretty bad when I was 12. Car accident. The doctors had to remove part of my liver." The room went completely silent. Dr. Vrixtal turned to face Jinwoo directly. All 6 arms stopped moving. "They removed part of this organ?" "Yeah, about 30% of it. I think," Jinwoo said. "But it grew back over a few months." "Is that weird?" Pelmora dropped the datapad she was holding. It clattered on the floor. Crixton's antennae stood straight up in shock. Dr. Vrixtal's body began to flash with rapid pulses of light. "Grew back?" Dr. Vrixtal's voice was barely a whisper. "You regenerated a complex internal organ?" "Sure," Jinwoo said, confused by their reaction. "The doctors told my parents it would. They said the liver is really good at regenerating. You can donate part of your liver to someone else, and both livers will grow back to full size." Dr. Vrixtal moved to the central computer and began typing rapidly with multiple arms. Data scrolled across the screens. "In all of the Galactic Union's database," the doctor said, "there are 3,000 member species. Of those 3,000, only 17 possess any regenerative capabilities. Most can regrow simple tissues like skin or bone. 3 species can regrow limbs. 1 species can regrow simple organs, but none, absolutely none, can regrow complex organs like this." Crixton approached Jinwoo, circling him slowly. "This changes everything we know about biology. Organ regeneration at this level should not be possible in a sentient species. The energy requirements alone would be enormous. That's probably why we eat so much," Jinwoo joked, but no one laughed. Dr. Vrixtal pulled up comparison images on the screen. One showed a Kylothian starfish, a simple animal from the doctor's homeworld. "This creature can regenerate. If you cut it in half, it becomes 2 creatures, but it has no brain, no complex organs, no higher functions. You, Jinwoo, have all of those things, yet you regenerate like this simple animal." "How?" Jinwoo shrugged. "I don't know, Doc. We just do. Lots of human organs can heal themselves. The liver is the best at it, but the skin, bones, muscles, even our brains can repair minor damage." Pelmora spoke up from her station. "Doctor, I'm seeing increased cellular activity throughout the human's entire body. Every organ is in a constant state of minor repair and regeneration. It's like he's always healing," Crixton observed. "Even when not injured." Dr. Vrixtal nodded slowly. That is exactly what is happening. The human body does not wait for injury to begin repair. It is constantly maintaining itself, replacing damaged cells, fixing small problems before they become large ones. The doctor moved to another screen, this one showing a scan of Jinwoo's chest. There is something else I noticed during the initial scans. Something I want to investigate further. Jinwoo followed the doctor's gaze. On the screen, his heart was visible, beating steadily. The organ glowed slightly on the scan, showing intense activity. This organ, Dr. Vrixtal said, is far more complex than the medical files suggested. It is not just a pump for your blood. Look at these electrical patterns. The screen showed waves of electricity moving through Jinwoo's heart in complex rhythms. The patterns were beautiful, like music made visible. The heart generates its own electrical signals, Jinwoo said. It can beat on its own, even outside the body, for a little while. Dr. Vrixtal's 6 arms trembled. A self-sustaining organ that generates its own power? And it coordinates with your nervous system. Look here. The doctor pointed to another part of the scan. There are neural clusters around the heart. Almost like a second brain. Crixton moved closer. This is unprecedented. Why would evolution create such a complex organ for such a simple task as pumping fluid? Dr. Vrixtal was quiet for a long moment, studying the scans from every angle. Then the doctor turned to Jinwoo with an expression that even across species barriers looked like determination mixed with nervousness. Human Jinwoo. Dr. Vrixtal said carefully, I have a request. It may seem invasive, but I believe it is crucial to understanding your species. Your heart is not what we thought it was. It may be the key to understanding all of your remarkable abilities. Jinwoo felt his heart beat a little faster, as if it knew it was being discussed. What kind of request? Dr. Vrixtal's crystalline body dimmed slightly, a sign of uncertainty. I would like to observe your heart directly. Not through scans, but with direct examination. We have technology that can do this safely, without causing you any harm or pain. But I need your permission. Jinwoo placed his hand over his chest, feeling his heartbeat against his palm. An alien doctor wanted to open his chest and look at his heart. The idea should have terrified him. But instead, he felt oddly honored. Dr. Vrixtal's curiosity was genuine, and the potential benefits to the entire galaxy were enormous. Let me think about it, Jinwoo said quietly. News traveled fast in the Galactic Union. Within a week, every major medical institution had heard about the human who could regenerate organs. Scientists across thousands of worlds wanted to know more. Some were excited. Others were afraid. A species that could heal from almost anything was either a wonderful discovery or a potential threat. The human embassy on Earth received dozens of requests for medical data. They sent a diplomatic team to Medical Station Epsilon 7 to handle the situation. The team arrived on a sleek Earth vessel that docked with the station in a flash of blue engine light. Jinwoo waited in the docking bay with Dr. Vrixtal. The airlock hissed open, and 3 humans stepped through. Jinwoo felt a wave of relief at seeing his own species after weeks of being the only human on the station. Ambassador Da-un led the group. She was tall and confident, with sharp eyes that took in everything. Behind her came Tae-min, a security officer whose muscular build and alert stance marked him as military. The third person was Hee-jin, a medical liaison wearing the white uniform of Earth's medical corps. Engineer Jinwoo, Da-un said, extending her hand. You've caused quite a stir. Jinwoo shook her hand and smiled. I just fixed a coolant pipe. Well, tried to fix it, and in doing so, revealed that humans are apparently biological miracles, Hee-jin said with a grin. The medical community back home is going crazy. Half of them want to know why we never noticed how special we are. And the other half want to know if we can patent our immune systems. Dr. Vrixtal approached the group, all 6 arms performing a gesture of greeting. Ambassador Da-un. I am Dr. Vrixtal, head physician of this station. Thank you for coming, Doctor, Da-un said with a respectful nod. I understand you've made some interesting discoveries about human biology. Interesting is an understatement, Dr. Vrixtal said. Would you all consent to medical examinations? I need to verify that Jinwoo's abilities are standard for your species, not an anomaly. The three newcomers exchanged glances. He-Jin spoke first. I'm a medical professional, so I'm definitely curious. I'll volunteer. As will I. De-Yoon said. If we're going to have productive relations with the Galactic Union, they need to understand us properly. Taemin nodded. Sure, why not? Just don't ask me to get injured to test the healing thing. Over the next several days, Dr. Vrixtal and a team of alien physicians examined all 4 humans. They ran every test imaginable. Each examination revealed the same impossible results. The humans all had adaptive immune systems. They all showed signs of continuous cellular regeneration. They all had organs that could repair themselves. He-Jin's scans showed she had broken her arm twice as a child. Both breaks had healed stronger than the original bone. Taemin's body showed evidence of multiple combat injuries, all healed without scarring. Even Da-Un, who lived a relatively safe diplomatic life, showed signs of her body constantly repairing minor cellular damage. Dr. Vrixtal became more fascinated with each discovery. The doctor barely slept, spending every moment studying the data. Pelmora and Crixton helped with the research, and soon they had filled entire databases with information about human biology. But Dr. Vrixtal kept returning to one particular scan. The human heart. In all 4 humans, the heart showed the same complex patterns, the same electrical activity, the same neural clusters. It was clearly more than just a pump. One evening, Dr. Vrixtal called a meeting in the private research lab. Jinwoo, Da-Un, Taemin, and He-Jin gathered around a large holographic display. The doctor's crystalline body pulsed with nervous energy. I have been studying your species for days, Doctor. Vrixtal began. Every discovery leads to more questions. Your immune systems are adaptive. Your organs regenerate. Your cells repair themselves constantly, but I believe the key to understanding all of this lies here. The hologram shifted to show a beating human heart. The image was beautiful, showing the organ in perfect detail. Electrical signals danced across its surface like lightning. Blood flowed through the chambers in rhythmic waves. Your heart is not what we thought, Doctor, Vrixtal continued. It generates electrical patterns that do not match any known biological pump. It has neural tissue that connects to your brain and nervous system. It responds to emotional and psychological states in real time. It is as if you have 2 brains, and one of them is in your chest. He-Jin leaned forward, studying the image. I never thought about it that way, but you're right. The heart does more than pump blood. It affects our entire body chemistry. It is the command center, Doctor, Vrixtal said. When I scan your bodies, I see a constant flow of information between the heart and every other organ. When damage occurs anywhere, the heart knows immediately. It sends signals, releases hormones, directs the immune system. It coordinates your entire healing response. Da-Un crossed her arms, thinking, So our hearts are why we heal so well? I believe so, Dr. Vrixtal said. But I cannot be certain from scans alone. The electrical patterns are too complex. The neural connections are too intricate. I need to see the organ directly to understand how it works. The room fell quiet. Everyone understood what the doctor was suggesting. Dr. Vrixtal's crystalline form seemed to dim, a sign of nervousness. This brings me to a request. One that I know may seem invasive or frightening, but I believe it is essential for understanding your species and potentially helping the entire galaxy. The doctor looked at each human in turn. I would like permission to perform a direct examination of a human heart. Not through scans, but with actual observation. We have advanced surgical technology that makes this completely safe. The subject would remain conscious and comfortable throughout. There would be no pain, no danger, and no lasting effects. Jinwoo felt his own heart beat faster. The idea of having his chest opened was terrifying, even with alien technology. He looked at the others. Taemin shook his head. No thanks. I've been shot, stabbed, and blown up. I'm not volunteering to have my chest opened. Jin bit her lip, considering. It's safe? Completely safe? I stake my reputation on it, Dr. Vrixtal said. We use non-invasive field surgery. Your body would not even be cut. We would use energy fields to temporarily part the tissues, observe what we need, and then allow everything to return to normal. No scars, no damage. Da-un stepped forward. I'll do it. Everyone turned to look at her. Jinwoo started to protest. Ambassador. You don't have to. Yes, I do. Da-un said firmly. This is exactly what ambassadors are for. Building bridges between species, sharing knowledge, taking risks for the greater good. If this procedure can help the galaxy understand humans better, and potentially lead to medical breakthroughs that save lives, then it's my duty to volunteer. Dr. Vrixtal's body brightened with gratitude. Ambassador, I cannot express how much this means to medical science. We will broadcast the procedure to medical facilities across the Union. Thousands of physicians will be able to observe and learn. Da-un smiled, though Jinwoo could see nervousness in her eyes. When do we do this? Tomorrow, Dr. Vrixtal said. I will prepare the surgical theater and gather the finest physicians in the Union. This will be historic. That night, Jinwoo found Da-un in the station's observation deck, looking out at the stars. Are you sure about this? He asked. Da-un didn't turn from the window. No. I'm terrified, actually. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? What do you mean? You said your heart beats faster when you're scared, Da-un said. That it pushes you forward even when your brain says to stop. That's courage. And courage is what brought humans to the stars. If I can't be brave enough to let an alien doctor look at my heart, how can I represent humanity out here? Jinwoo stood beside her, watching the distant stars. Dr. Vrixtal will take good care of you. I know, Da-un said. She placed her hand over her chest, feeling her heartbeat. Besides, I'm curious too. I've had this thing beating in my chest my whole life. It might be nice to actually see it working. They stood together in comfortable silence, two humans far from home, about to show the galaxy what made them special. Tomorrow, the secrets of the human heart would be revealed, and nothing would ever be the same. The surgical theater was unlike anything on Earth. Instead of cold metal tables and bright lights, the room was filled with soft, glowing fields of energy. The walls were transparent, allowing hundreds of alien physicians to watch from the observation galleries above. Holographic displays floated in the air, ready to broadcast the procedure to medical facilities across the galaxy. Da-un lay on a platform that molded itself to her body shape. She wore a simple medical gown, and her hands were steady despite her nervousness. Jinwoo, Taemin, and Jin stood in the observation area, watching through the transparent walls. Dr. Vrixtal entered the theater with a team of specialist physicians. Pelmora was there, along with Crixtin and several others Da-un had never seen before. Each species brought their own expertise to the procedure. Ambassador Da-un, Dr. Vrixtal said gently. Are you ready? As ready as I'll ever be, Da-un replied, managing a smile. Remember, you will remain conscious throughout, the doctor explained. The neural dampening field will prevent any pain or discomfort, but you will be able to see and communicate with us. If at any point you wish to stop, simply say so. Da-un nodded. I understand. Dr. Vrixtal activated the neural dampening field. A soft blue glow surrounded Da-un's body. She felt a gentle warmth spread through her. And then the anxiety faded away. She could still think clearly, but her fear had vanished. It was the strangest sensation she had ever experienced. Beginning procedure, Dr. Vrixtal announced. The holographic displays activated, showing Da-un's body from multiple angles. Alien physicians in the observation galleries leaned forward. Their various eyes, sensors, and organs focused intently on the human. Dr. Vrixtal raised two crystalline arms. and between them, a field of shimmering energy appeared. The doctor lowered this field toward Da-Un's chest. The energy touched her skin and passed through without cutting. Da-Un felt pressure but no pain. The field created a window into her chest. Through the energy barrier, her beating heart became visible. The organ pulsed with life, red and vital, pumping blood through her body in perfect rhythm. A collective sound of amazement came from the observation galleries. Physicians from a dozen different species made noises of wonder in their own languages. The translators struggled to keep up with all the excited chatter. Dr. Vrixtal moved closer, studying the exposed heart with all 6 crystalline arms. "Look at this," the doctor whispered, voice full of awe. "Do you all see?" Pelmora adjusted the holographic displays to magnify the image. Every physician watching could now see Da-Un's heart in perfect detail. "The organ is not simply pumping," Dr. Vrixtal explained to the assembled doctors. "Watch the electrical signals." The displays highlighted the patterns of electricity dancing across the heart's surface. These signals are not random. They are organized, purposeful. "The heart is processing information." A Valasian physician in the gallery spoke up, her voice translated into the common language. "But Dr. Vrixtal, this seems inefficient. Why would evolution place such an important command center in such a vulnerable location? One injury to this organ, and the human dies." Dr. Vrixtal's crystalline body pulsed with understanding. "That is precisely the point. Watch what happens when I introduce a simulated stress response." The doctor made an adjustment to the equipment. A harmless signal was sent through Da-Un's nervous system, mimicking the response to danger. Immediately, her heart rate increased. The electrical patterns changed, becoming faster and more intense. The holographic displays showed hormones flooding into her bloodstream. "See?" Dr. Vrixtal said. "The heart does not wait for the brain to process the threat and send commands. It responds instantly, automatically. It prepares the body for action before conscious thought occurs." Crixton buzzed with excitement. "This is a survival mechanism. The heart acts as an emergency response system." "Exactly, Doctor," Vrixtal confirmed. "Now watch this." The doctor pointed to the neural clusters surrounding the heart. "These are not just nerves for controlling the heart muscle. They are processing centers. The heart has its own nervous system, separate from the brain." Hyjin spoke up from the observation area, her medical training making her understand the implications. "The heart is a second brain, one that specializes in survival and emotional responses." "Yes, Doctor," Vrixtal said. "And look at how it connects to the rest of the body." The displays showed a vast network of signals flowing from the heart to every organ, every system, every cell. "When I scan the human body, I see constant communication. The heart knows the status of everything. When damage occurs anywhere, it knows immediately." The doctor gestured to different parts of the holographic display. "Here, we see the connection to the immune system. The heart can trigger immune responses instantly. Here, the connection to the cellular repair mechanisms. The heart coordinates regeneration. And here, the connection to the endocrine system. The heart regulates hormones that affect healing, energy, and even emotional state." A senior physician from the Centauri delegation stood in the gallery. "This is remarkable, but I still do not understand. Why would humans evolve this way? It seems overly complex." Dr. Vrixtal carefully adjusted the field window, showing Da-Un's heart from another angle. "Humans evolved on what we classify as a Class 12 hostile environment. Their homeworld was actively trying to kill them." The doctor continued. "They faced ice ages, predators, diseases, natural disasters, and countless other threats. A species that had to wait for their brain to analyze every danger and then respond would not survive. They needed a system that could react instantly, instinctively." Da-Un spoke up, her voice calm thanks to the neural dampening field. "We call it courage. That feeling when your heart races before you face something dangerous. When it steadies your nerves in a crisis. When it pushes you forward even when your brain is telling you to run away." The observation galleries fell silent. Hundreds of alien physicians contemplated the words of the human on the table, her heart exposed and beating steadily. Dr. Vrixtal gently touched the energy field, adjusting it to show different aspects of the heart's function. This organ is not just keeping Ambassador Daun alive, it is actively managing her survival at every moment. It is why humans heal so quickly, why their immune systems adapt, why they can survive injuries that would kill most other species. Pelmora studied her instruments. The energy output is incredible. The heart is generating enough electromagnetic force to influence cells throughout the entire body. And it never stops, Crixton added. Unlike a mechanical pump that wears down, the human heart repairs itself constantly. It is its own maintenance system. Dr. Vrixtal carefully began closing the field window. The energy barrier gently pushed Daun's tissues back into place. Within moments, her chest was whole again, with not even a mark to show what had happened. The entire procedure had taken less than an hour. The neural dampening field faded, and Daun felt her normal emotions return. She sat up slowly, placing her hand over her chest. Her heart was beating a little faster now, responding to the excitement and relief that the procedure was over. "How do you feel?" Dr. Vrixtal asked. "Fine," Daun said, surprised. "Actually, I feel great. No pain at all." The observation galleries erupted in their various forms of applause. Chimes, clicks, bioluminescent flashes, and musical tones filled the air. The alien physicians were celebrating a breakthrough in biological understanding. Jinwoo, Taemin, and Hai-Jin rushed into the surgical theater. Jinwoo embraced Daun carefully. "You did it. You showed them what humans are made of." Daun smiled, still feeling her heartbeat against her palm. "We did it. All of us. We showed them that survival isn't just about being strong, it's about having the courage to keep going, no matter what." Dr. Vrixtal approached them, the crystalline body glowing with satisfaction and gratitude. "Ambassador, you have given the galaxy an incredible gift. This knowledge will change medicine forever. We can learn from your biology, adapt our treatments, and save countless lives." Taemin grinned. "So what you're saying is, humans are officially awesome?" "In scientific terms," Dr. Vrixtal said with what might have been the alien equivalent of a smile, "yes, humans are officially awesome." 3 months had passed since the historic surgery. The images of Daun's beating heart had been seen by billions of beings across the Galactic Union. Every major news network had covered the story. Some called it the greatest medical discovery in 1,000 years. Others were more cautious, even fearful. The fear was understandable. If humans could regenerate organs and survive injuries that would kill other species, what else could they do? Were they dangerous? Should they be restricted? Some politicians in the Union called for limits on human expansion into the galaxy, but Dr. Vrixtal had other ideas. The Galactic Medical Council met on the planet Zentara, a beautiful world of purple skies and silver seas. The council chamber was enormous, with seats for representatives from every member species. Today, it was completely full. Physicians, scientists, and government officials from 3,000 worlds had gathered to hear Dr. Vrixtal's presentation. Jinwoo, Daun, Taemin, and Hai-Jin sat in a special section reserved for honored guests. They wore formal Earth clothing, representing their species with pride. Around them, aliens of every shape and size whispered in countless languages about the humans in their midst. Dr. Vrixtal stood at the center of the chamber, crystalline body reflecting the light from the massive holographic display overhead. The doctor's 6 arms moved gracefully as the presentation began. "Honored colleagues," Dr. Vrixtal's voice echoed through the chamber. "For thousands of years, we of the Galactic Union believed we had mastered biology. We had technology to replace failed organs. We had nanites to repair damaged tissue. We had genetic modifications to prevent disease. We thought we had conquered the limits of natural evolution." The holographic display showed images of various alien medical technologies. Impressive machines that could rebuild bodies and extend lives. But then we met humanity. Dr. Vrixtal continued. A species from a Class 12 hostile world. A species that evolved not in paradise, but in constant struggle. And they showed us something we had forgotten. The display changed to show the now famous images of Daun's heart. The beating organ, surrounded by its network of nerves and blood vessels, pulsing with life and purpose. They showed us that nature, when pushed to its absolute limits, can create miracles we never imagined. The human body is not just a biological machine. It is a masterpiece of adaptive engineering, shaped by millions of years of survival on a world that tried to exterminate them. A Valasian counselor stood, her scaled skin shimmering. Dr. Vrixtal, we have all seen your findings. The human capacity for regeneration is impressive. But how does this help the rest of us? We are not humans. We cannot simply grow new organs. Dr. Vrixtal's body pulsed with anticipation. That is what I am here to discuss. For the past 3 months, my team has been working with the humans to develop new medical treatments based on their biology. Hyjin, if you would. Hyjin stood and joined Dr. Vrixtal at the center of the chamber. She looked small compared to many of the alien counselors, but her voice was strong and clear. We cannot give you human regeneration, Hyjin explained. But we can adapt the principles. Human healing is based on constant cellular communication, aggressive immune responses, and rapid tissue repair. We've been studying how to apply these principles to other species. The holographic display showed a series of medical breakthroughs, new treatments that used modified human immune factors, cellular repair protocols based on human regeneration, hormone therapies inspired by human endocrine systems. We've had our first successes, Hyjin continued. A Centauri child suffering from a degenerative disease was treated with modified human cellular repair factors. The disease was stopped. The child is recovering. Pelmora stood in the audience, her purple fur rippling with emotion. That child is my daughter. She was dying. The doctors said there was no cure. But the human treatments saved her life. The chamber erupted in sounds of surprise and hope. Counselors turned to each other, discussing this revelation in dozens of languages. Dr. Vrixtal raised 2 arms for silence. This is only the beginning. We have developed treatments for tissue regeneration in Valasians, immune-boosting therapies for Chilothians, and organ repair protocols for dozens of species. None of them work exactly like human biology, but they are inspired by it. A scribe counselor clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. This is significant. But I must ask, why are the humans sharing this knowledge? They could sell these treatments, become wealthy beyond measure. Daun stood and walked to the center of the chamber. She looked around at the thousands of alien faces watching her. Because that's not who we are. Yes, we evolved on a harsh world. Yes, we had to fight and struggle and survive against impossible odds. But you know what got us through all of that? Working together. Helping each other. Sharing what we had so everyone could survive. She placed her hand over her heart. Dr. Vrixtal discovered that this organ is like a second brain. One that never gives up. Well, that same organ also drives us to help others. Humans feel pain when we see others suffering. Our hearts literally ache when we can't help. So when we found out our biology could save lives across the galaxy, there was never any question. We would share it freely. Jinwoo stood and joined Daun. We didn't come to the stars to conquer or to get rich. We came because we're curious. We came to learn and to help. If every scar, every adaptation, every struggle our species went through can now save lives, then it was all worth it. Taemin stood as well. Besides, we're stubborn. Really, really stubborn. It's literally built into our biology. And we're stubborn about helping people. The chamber fell quiet as the aliens absorbed the words of the 3 humans. Then, slowly, one counselor began to chime. Then another clicked their approval. A third flashed bioluminescent colors of gratitude. Within moments, The entire chamber was filled with the sounds of 3,000 species, showing their appreciation in 3,000 different ways. Dr. Vrixtal's crystalline body glowed brighter than Jinwoo had ever seen it. The doctor gestured to the humans with all 6 arms. This is why we must welcome humanity fully into the Galactic Union. Not because they are strong, though they are. Not because they are resilient, though they are that too. But because they understand something we had forgotten. The holographic display showed images from across the galaxy. Medical stations receiving the new treatments. Patients recovering from diseases thought incurable. Children playing who would have died without the human-inspired therapies. We built our civilization on technology, Doctor, Vrixtal said. We advanced so far that we forgot the value of natural adaptation. But humans remind us that sometimes the best solutions are not built in factories or designed in laboratories. Sometimes they are grown through struggle, shaped by adversity, and refined through generations of never giving up. The doctor turned to face the human delegation. Humanity survived ice ages, plagues, predators, and disasters that would have destroyed most of our species. They developed biology that seems impossible by our standards, and now they offer to share that gift with all of us, asking nothing in return. A Kylothian elder stood, their ancient crystalline form flickering with respect. I move that Medical Station Epsilon 7 be designated as the headquarters of a new human galactic medical institute, with Dr. Vrixtal as director. I second the motion, the Valasian counselor said, and I propose that humanity be granted full medical research privileges throughout the Union. The votes came quickly. The measures passed with overwhelming support. Medical Station Epsilon 7 would become the center of a medical revolution, with humans and aliens working together to save lives across the galaxy. After the council session ended, Jinwoo found himself standing in a quiet garden on the station. It had been transformed in recent weeks, now containing plants from hundreds of worlds. Alien flowers bloomed in colors that had no names in human languages. Dr. Vrixtal joined him, the crystalline body reflecting the strange light of the alien plants. Thank you, Jinwoo said. For everything. For being curious about us, instead of afraid. Thank you, Doctor, Vrixtal replied, for showing us what we had forgotten. That strength is not just about power or technology. It is about perseverance, adaptation, and the courage to keep going. They stood together in comfortable silence, human and alien, looking out at the stars visible through the garden's transparent dome. You know, Jinwoo said, I never thought getting burned by a coolant pipe would change the galaxy. Dr. Vrixtal's body pulsed with amusement. And I never thought asking to inspect an odd organ would lead to the greatest discovery of my career. Da-eun, Taemin, and Haejin joined them in the garden. Da-eun smiled at the sight of human and alien standing together peacefully. So what happens now? Taemin asked. Now, Dr. Vrixtal said, we work. There are still thousands of diseases to cure, millions of lives to save. The Human Galactic Medical Institute will need staff. All of you are welcome to join. Jinwoo thought about it. He had come to the station as a simple engineer, just trying to fix a broken machine. Now he had the chance to help build something far more important. I'm in, he said. Chief of Bioengineering sounds better than maintenance worker anyway. I'll run security, Taemin offered. If this place is going to be the most valuable medical facility in the galaxy, it's going to need protection. And I'll lead the clinical trials division, Haejin said, making sure the treatments work safely across all species. Da-eun placed her hand over her heart, feeling it beat steadily in her chest. I'll stay as liaison between Earth and the Institute. Make sure the communication flows both ways. Dr. Vrixtal's 6 arms moved in a gesture of joy. Then it is settled. Together, we will change the galaxy. They stood together in the garden, humans and aliens united by a common purpose. Above them, ships from 1,000 worlds came and went from the station. Each one carried hope, carrying news of medical breakthroughs, carrying the promise of a better future. And it all started because an alien doctor looked at a human heart and asked a simple question. Can I inspect that odd organ? The answer had changed everything. Humanity had come to the stars, not as conquerors, but as survivors. They had turned the harsh lessons of a death world into gifts for the galaxy. Their scars became sources of healing. Their struggles became strengths that could save billions of lives. The humans stood in the garden and smiled, knowing that every challenge Earth had thrown at them, every injury they had healed from, every adaptation they had developed, had prepared them for this moment. They were ready to share their greatest gift with the galaxy, the gift of never giving up, the gift of healing, the gift of the human heart.